Welcome to Commanders Daily, everybody. It's your one-stop shop for everything going on with the Burgundy and Gold. I'm Bob Matthews. Delighted to have you with us. Don't forget, hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss a minute of coverage during the regular season. And the regular season is here. That's right. It's week one. Welcome to it. Commanders and Giants coming up 1 o'clock this Sunday. Hard to believe, isn't it? At Northwest Stadium. Kevin Burkhardt, Tom Brady, and Aaron Andrews on the call. Fox's number one team is coming to do the game. They are the big game in the early window. Amazing how far this franchise has come in less than 2 seasons. So to give you an idea of what's going on this week, and this week is a little bit strange because of, the Labor Day weekend and everything. Hope you had a good Labor Day. The Commanders had a walkthrough at Ashburn yesterday. Reporters weren't there. It was closed to the media. Today they are off. Tomorrow, practice, and we'll hear from Dan Quinn and Jayden Daniels. They are putting in the game plan here for week one. We're at it. So let's go ahead and start. Today will be our first day to give you an early look at this game and what we got with the Giants. Nice to actually be talking some actual football here, isn't it? So Washington coming out, opening up as a 6.5-point favorite against the Giants. Got a 72% winning chance to win the game, according to, all those sites that assign winning percentages to it. So what do we got to worry about as Commanders fans when it comes to top of the Giants? All right, Russell Wilson, what does he have left? Is he going to, benefit from a few more offensive tools maybe than he had in Pittsburgh? I don't know. I think, Russ is Russ. He has not shown anything, according to everybody that saw him in the preseason, that lets you think there's going to be some sort of wholesale change. Now, of course, he's got Malik Neighbors out there on the outside, and we're going to probably find out a lot about this revamped Commanders secondary here pretty early on. One would think that Neighbors is going to be matched up against Marshawn Lattimore, so Lattimore says he's healthy. We did not see him in the preseason. Let's see exactly how healthy he is, but it's going to be the job of Trey Amos, and Mikey Sanders still to stop him. You're also going to have to worry on the defensive side about Kayvon Thibodeau, who seems to just have an unbelievable game every time he plays against Washington. And then, of course, Dexter Lawrence and the Giants' number one pick, rookie Abdul Carter, who is supposed to be a game changer out there on the edge. We'll see how this revamped offensive line goes against them, which should be okay. I mean, we're talking about a line that, has been beefed up in the offseason. It's one of the things Adam Peters and his crew wanted to work on, and they did, going out and getting Laramie Tunstall, drafting Josh Connerly, which lets them move Brandon Coleman to the inside at guard. I expect to see the Commanders do a lot of running, especially to start the game. They have put their eggs in the basket of Bill Merritt and Austin Eckler and Chris Rodriguez, et cetera, et cetera. And I want to see how Deebo Samuel is going to play as well. So those are kind of some of the things that I'm looking for against the Giants. This should be rather easy. Everything tells you that this should be a pretty easy win for the Commanders, something along the lines of 30-14. But that's usually where, you get kicked right in the where when you start thinking that way. And for some reason, the Giants just always seem to play the Commanders tough. Not only play them tough, but I cannot tell you how many times I have sat down to watch a Giants-Commanders game, Giants-Washington football team game, Giants-Redskins game, and it's one of those situations where if the Giants lose, the season is over for them, and they come out and they play like, one of the Super Bowl teams that Bill Parcells coached. Let's hope that doesn't happen on Sunday. And, of course, we'll be talking a lot more about that later in the week. Let's see. Giving you some other stats here. The over-under set at 45.5 points. Giants are 0-5 against the spread in their last 5 road games, but 6-1 against it in their last 7 road games. Guess where? in D.C. Like I said, somehow, some way, for some reason, they seem to play the Commanders tough. But I do think that this is going to be one of those 30 to 14 games. And the simple reason is, and again, I think it's just scar tissue that keeps us from behaving this way and talking this way. But it's Jayden Daniels. He's the great eraser. He just is. He's a top 5 quarterback. It's the first time this franchise has ever had one of those. And he's going to make it okay. He's got all of his weapons back now. So I'm telling you, I think this is going to be, I'm going out on a limb and saying it now, I think it's going to be a rather easy win for the Commanders. Objectively speaking, it should be. They ought to go out there, take care of business. That's what good teams do. And if what we saw last year was real, and we all think it is, guess what? They'll go out there and they will take care of business. Before we get to a shameless plug, let's go ahead and hit the mailbag here. Donald Lewis, at Donald Lewis, 1728. Thank you for sharing your time and your thoughts on the team. Have a great and safe Labor Day weekend. I did, Donald, and I hope you do as well. Jay Hardy, 7617, says, wow, the Dallas drama is good for us. How much did Josh Harris have to pay Jerry? I do not know, Jay Hardy, but whatever it wasn't enough. Carter Budner wants us to discuss the wide receiver unit a little more. In his opinion, they have several playmakers, but Terry McLaurin is game speed rusty. Noah Brown has never been on the field for an exciting season. Jalen Lane has exciting potential as a rookie. And Luke McCaffrey does not appear to have made significant strides per preseason playing time stats. All good, I really can't argue with a whole lot of what you said there, Carter. I think by the time we get to Sunday, I think Terry's going to be okay. Is he going to? He really. I understand what you're saying about being a little game speed rusty, but remember, he would not have played a whole heck of a lot in the preseason, even if this contract thing had been resolved. You saw Deebo Samuel literally got 4 snaps and 1 carry. Now, granted, he busted that carry for about 60 yards or whatever it was, but still, he didn't have much time either. It's going to take a while on Jalen Lane. He's a rookie, and it's going to take him some time to adjust. As for Luke McCaffrey, while I do agree with you, I got to say, I've been watching a lot of him on the All-22 from last year. It really looks like he was a pretty decent route runner and was getting open a lot. It's just that Jayden wasn't throwing to him for whatever reason. And again, I'm not gonna, I'm not smart enough to know all of the offensive concepts and, when they were looking for him. It did look like a lot of times Jayden would go to Zach Ertz instead of McCaffrey, and I can understand why. You are right what you say about McCaffrey, but having said that, I'm not going to be surprised if he, sometime here in the early part of the season kind of breaks loose, especially with all of the attention that defenses have to pay to McLaurin and to Deebo Samuel. Finally, that shameless plug I was talking about, if you want the long-form version of this and other Commanders coverage, just head on over to thebelieve.com and the Believe Network there and search for The Bob Matthews Show. We drop a podcast there every week. Everything you want to know, as well as exclusive locker room access from the team and the facility in Ashburn. All right, we will talk to you again tomorrow. More Giants talk as we get ready for week 1. Have a good one. Remember, like the wise man once said, if you're out on your bike tonight, as always, do wear white.